Everybody is talking about inflation. Have you wondered how inflation impacts your investments? Well, we're going to discuss that here in this video. I'm Professor Capko, and I'm going to explain to you how inflation will impact investments. So let's look at this example here. An investor is considering an investment that pays 10% interest as a fixed rate of return. Inflation in this example is 4%. I know that inflation may be higher than that in that you're experiencing right now, but we're going to use this percentage just for our purposes here. What is the investor's real rate of return? Okay, so let's define a couple terms here. First, we have a nominal rate of return. The nominal rate of return is going to be the stated rate, and that's the rate that the investment is promising. So in this case, it's 10%. And then we've got our real rate. That is the rate that the investment is earning once you take into account inflation. That is what we're going to figure out. So we don't know that right now. And our inflation rate, in this case, is 4%. We can approximate it, and people approximate it all the time by basically saying that the real rate is approximately equal to the nominal rate minus the inflation rate. And so in that case, our 10% is our nominal rate, and our inflation rate is 4%. So our real rate is approximated to be 10 minus 4, which would be 6%. So in other words, the dollars are losing value at 4% per year. We are earning 10% per year, but our real return is only 6%. Now, this is an approximation. If you're an economist or in your financial classes, you will be talking about the Fisher equation or the Fisher effect. This is the more accurate way of calculating it, and we're going to be using this equation, but let's go ahead and define some of the terms first. All right, and you may see it stated slightly differently with some different variables, but in the same format. So the first way of stating it, we've got the big R. The big R is going to be our nominal rate. In other words, the stated rate, the promised rate, the rate that's on paper. The H is going to be our inflation rate. Sometimes the variable for that would be pi. And our small r is our real rate. And we would go ahead and fill in the information that we have. In this case, our nominal rate is 10%, and we're going to write that as a decimal. We have an inflation rate of 4%, and we're going to write that as a decimal as well. And the real rate is what we're trying to figure out. So let's go ahead and fill in our equation. We have 1 plus the nominal rate, which is 10%. We're using it as a decimal, 0.1. And that is equal to 1 plus our real rate, which is what we're trying to figure out. And we're going to multiply that by 1 plus our inflation rate, which is 0.04%, 0.04. And let's clean this up a little bit. If I go ahead and add that together, I have 1.10 is equal to 1 plus small r multiplied by 1.04. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to leave this separate. I'm going to go ahead and we want to move this part to the other side because we want to solve for our r. So I'm going to divide both sides by 1.04. That cancels out. So if I put this into my calculator, I've got 1.1 divided by 1.04. I've got 1.057692 is equal to 1 plus r. If I go ahead and I want to get the r by itself, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract 1 from both sides. And that leaves me with 0.057692 is our real rate. And if we change that to a percentage, we're going to move the decimal place over 2 places. 5.7692 is our real rate of return. And that is fairly close to our approximate rate that we had of 6%. So we know we're right in the ballpark, but this is the more accurate real rate of return. If you are finding this material helpful, go ahead and hit the like button and keep your grade alive and subscribe. Thank you.